What's going on YouTube? GraveCinder here, and welcome back for episode number 40. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the time lapse. As you can see that a lot was done during the time lapse. I went ahead and I beautified this portion of the city. I added a snow dump over here. If you guys caught it, I added a couple more parks and high school and elementary school over here in this area. And also I've zoned a little bit more of commercial to kind of fill in the area and break up the dead space that we had going on over here in between the high density and the low density residential. Coming back to over here, I went ahead and I filled everything in with trees, so it looks filled in. I moved the rails all the way over here to this side. Did a little bit of terraforming over here and a lot of bit of terraforming over here. As you saw, we did have some flooding happen over here in this area too, because we pushed up so much water that that ended up overflowing into the other parts of the city. But all of that is for a good reason. Before we begin, we are sitting at 5.6 million, so the terraforming actually cost us $2 million. We have 34,000 incoming. As you see, that is that number is back up, and that is because we're sitting at 90,000 population. So if you guys recall, we were at I believe 86 when I first started doing the terraforming. So while I was doing all of that, the population went back to 90,000. It's actually still growing. We have about 139 people moving into the city. So taxpayers came back, and our city is now back on budget. But I'll tell you guys, the reason that I put this or terraformed this area right here is because this is where the airport is going to go. So that is what we're going to be doing in this episode today. We're going to place the airport. We're going to make the layout over here for this area. I'm not sure if we're going to have time to zone much, but I think it'll be a good beginning for this particular area itself over here. And the reason that I flattened out this area over here, I don't know if you guys recall, it's been quite a few episodes since I mentioned this, but this is where we're going to put most of our unique buildings and the stadium and pretty much the main tourism island attraction in our city. And this, just like before, will not have any road connections to the other part of the cities. This is only going to be via train, boat or ship, and metros. But I think that's something that we're going to do in a different episode. For this episode, let's go ahead and start with the airport. So I moved the rail so I could have a little bit more room here, and I kind of raised the landscape itself too. So the airport is a little bit raised up. So we're gonna go ahead and, as I mentioned before, we're gonna be making the international airport, and I'm thinking that right about here is kind of where I want to place it. Let me go ahead and turn it off for now. There we go. That way we're not wasting money while we're building everything else. But the reason I want it over here is I think it'd be kind of cool to have the planes land and take off above the river. As far as the layout over here goes, we're not gonna do anything too complicated. We're actually gonna make it extremely simple. We're just gonna do something like this and like this. We're gonna get rid of this road. We're gonna go 1, 1, 1, And I think you guys can already guess what I'm doing over here, but we're gonna make a roundabout. That is, of course, going to be turned into a one-way. And then here, let's see, I'm going to go one more. There we go. Perfect. We're going to do the same thing on this side. And we're just going to do like a half circle on the inside of the airport itself. So something like that. There we go. I think that that looks pretty nice. I haven't yet decided exactly what I want to put in front of the airport, because I know that's a zonable area. The other thing that if you guys don't know, the international airport itself has a subway connection or a metro connection, and we can easily connect the metro to it. So as you can see right there, so possibly something like that. I haven't quite decided yet exactly how I wanted to hook that up, but I do want connections from this part coming into the airport, from this city over here into the airport, and also from this larger island coming into the airport as well. For the episode though, I did want to put together the layout over here before we do anything else, and it's not going to be anything too fancy per se. It's mainly going to be based off of a grid. There we go. So the reason I did this is because we're going to have a main road coming through, say about right there. What I plan on doing is adding a connection to the highway over here on this side, and then also connecting this this road somehow over here to this highway as well, and possibly even, well, not possibly, but definitely going to be fixing this this intersection over here. The interchange itself, we're going to rework the whole thing. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it in this episode or not, but it's definitely something that is going to happen.
I'll never drop the ball on prices, and that's because low prices and my customers' happiness are not affected by the short fingers mentioned earlier in the advertisement. Just remember, when the game's on the line, who do you count on? Steel Frame Spots. That's who. Check out our ad in the Weekly Nickel.
Okay, so the idea here is to break up the city in two with this diagonal line. Over here on the right side, we're going to have high density, and that's going to be more than likely just offices as well as residential. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be on the right side. So if you're just looking at the screen over here, on the right side, it's going to be low density residential. So it's going to be like neighborhoods, things like that. On the left side is going to be high density residential, and offices. We may even have a little bit of commercial over here in this area as well, because I think it'll be necessary so these folks don't have to travel all the way to this side of the city or this side of the city to go and do some shopping. Okay, so all of these roads that I'm drawing, these are going to be our main roads. Maybe with the road ending over here. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade them here in a little bit. And I think that'll be enough room between the buildings and the airstrip, because the game won't care. The game itself will, if there's a plane landing, he'll just go right through the buildings and land. So I think that should be enough room. I hope it's going to be enough room. As far as these other roads, let's go ahead and upgrade them. And we're going to use the 4-lane road with trees. And you know what? Now that that I'm taking a look right here, because we are going to have some commercial area in this particular island over here as well. What I will do, just to keep the cars and trucks off the highway, is I will go ahead and work in a cargo train terminal. Nope, wrong one. There we go. I think somewhere over here would work really well. So let's do that. Let's build that. I think that should be okay. I think it should be just okay right there. If it doesn't work, we are gonna go ahead and fix it. And when I'm doing something like this, it's all really a rough draft until I've actually had time to play with the design, actually zone some stuff, and see how exactly that'll work. And boy, that's ugly right there. I'm gonna use the soften tool. We're gonna go small, and we're gonna select this height, and we're gonna go from here. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. Maybe we can even soften the terrain a little bit right there. Alright, let's give this a shot. Oops. Nope. Okay, there we go. Much better. Let's go ahead and turn off the cargo train terminal. That way we're not wasting money. Okay, and then you guys know that I'm not a big fan of traffic lights, which cause a lot of traffic, especially if you have them next to a cargo train terminal. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna upgrade this road just like so. We are gonna make a half circle roundabout in this area. Let me just check. Yeah, that should work. So that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. That should work just fine. Let me just make sure. we are one off. So let's, so we don't make the same mistake, we're gonna do this. There we go. Perfect. Alright, and then now we're gonna connect it over here. There we go. We are gonna turn the roundabout into a one-way. We have to make sure that it's going the right way. There we go. It's going counterclockwise. I like it. I think I'll even go ahead and upgrade it to the road with trees. Alright. Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna leave everything else over here as a two-way road because there's going to be commercial traffic that's going from here all throughout this this whole area. So we're gonna just leave it exactly the way it is. Here we can go ahead and upgrade this road so it splits into a 4-lane. And I think we should be good to go. I have a feeling this is gonna be pretty bad, but we'll see. There we go. Something like that should be just a-okay. Now down here, my thought was to have a neighborhood right around this whole area. So let's go ahead and build a layout for it. We'll start with that. It's going to be based off of a grid. There's nothing special about this particular neighborhood. Put in some diagonal roads as well just to break up the grid itself, but I'm not sure if that's the best idea. But we'll go ahead and do it anyways. Why not? Something like that. Let's put a straight through line. There we go. Something like that. Okay, neighborhood 1 is done. I'm gonna leave this this area over here for connections to the highway. Let's go ahead and make neighborhood 2. That is going to be, I want to say it's gonna stop right there because I do want to I want to leave enough room here to make a connection to the main roads off the highway itself. So I do want a diagonal road with this one, or parallel road with this one over here to kind of close off the neighborhood. And then all we're gonna do is just that right there. I think that should be good enough. There we go. And I think that's it, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it an episode over here. A lot was done in this episode. We spent $2 million on terraforming. Our budget is booming, which I'm super happy and excited to see. We're at 40,000 per week. Our population has increased by 6,500 since I started the episode over here. So that's also absolutely fantastic. And our population just seems to be growing, which I'm not going to complain about that. So for the next episode, we're going to go ahead and rework this connection over here. I am more than likely going to turn that into a time lapse, as well as this connection over here. So there's going to be 2 ways to get in and out of the city via car. And that's it, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. It's really helping out my channel. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. As always, have a good time.